his Sonics be ripped from their grips and move to Oklahoma City. I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
Can Lamar Jackson bounce back from last week, and can he silence critics and get this thing done against the Colts, who are red hot after a win over Detroit last weekend?
Yeah, no doubt about it. First, let me say great job on the piece. Great job to all the producers. Those images, the background music, it was phenomenal. I do believe Lamar's going to bounce back. You know, I know that we love to look at quarterbacks and criticize them if they're not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But Lamar is still one of the best quarterbacks in the business. He is our league MVP until somebody else snatches that crown. But going back to the piece, I think more fans are familiar with recent history, what they know over the last decade, maybe. But the historical significance between these two organizations, it's phenomenal to break that down, because I know there's a young generation that had no idea all that was there. And Schrags, you're right. When I was watching that piece, I was thinking about how excited I was when we drafted a young Kevin Durant. I say, you know what? Things are finally looking up for my Sonics. Shortly thereafter, they're in Oklahoma, and we haven't had an NBA team since. And it still hurts me to this day. So I love the fact that you broke that down. Well done, Schrags.
Not only did they take your team, Nate, but then there's Durant there, Westbrook, Harden. They're just loaded in Oklahoma City. But I think it's appropriate this time of year. We all went to elementary school and did history class, and we all love football. But, Peter, I'm to the point now, when I hear Mayflower, I don't think of an English ship that brought pilgrims across the ocean. I think of the trucks. It's the first thing that comes to mind. It's loading up the Colts and shipping them out of town. And credit to the unsung MVP of the whole thing. Whatever woman or man had the presence of mind to roll camera on those trucks, load actual film in them, and load camera, because without that shot, that's the smoking gun of the entire thing. Great, great, great piece. And I would just say quickly, bring it back to the Colts. What do the Colts have to do will we talk about them? Get to 10-2, 12-2? When and if the Colts do win this game, guess what we're going to be talking about? That Lamar couldn't. Is not right. Go Colts.
Love it. I totally agree with you on the Mayflower thing. I'm like, who taped that? Who was like, Betsy, let's get to the facility and get this done. I love that. I will say this. Let's give the Colts some love, Schrags. They have the #2 defense. Yeah, exactly. In the entire league right now, they have Darius Leonard at full strength now. So I'd like to see how this Colts defense matches up against Lamar Jackson. What are your thoughts? At GMFB, Peter, want to give it a little bow?
Yeah, no, this one's in Indianapolis, of course, but Baltimore fans, you talk to a Ravens fan and say, oh, Steelers-Ravens, that's the rivalry. Of a certain age, they will tell you, Steelers are whatever, that's new age. Give us the Colts, and I cannot wait to watch this one on Sunday. It's the game of the week in the AFC.
That's awesome.
Ravens at Colts, baby. Then the Colts, I do believe, face the Titans the week after on Thursday Night Football. More Good Morning Football on the way. One of the marquee matchups of Week 9 goes down in Buffalo. Oh, this is a goodie. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks taking on Josh Allen and the Bills. Time to start the clock on Mad Minuto next. Welcome back to Good Morning Football. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're safe and well out there. We're leading you into an awesome slate of action for Week 9, and we're doing it right now with something we call Mad Minute. I put 60 seconds on the clock. The guys have to share that 1 minute to break down the most important thing, concisely the thing that they're looking at and think is the most fascinating. So let's start with this awesome game, guys. The Seahawks, they have to go to Buffalo to face the Bills. What is you excited about this one, Schrags?
Yeah, I want to see what we have from the Seahawks defense here. I know they gave up a bunch of garbage points to the 49ers, but it looked like they started to get their jobs together. If this Seahawks team can have a defense, and if Jamal Adams gets back on the field, and Carlos Dunlap is out there, and then, of course, if you have the big fella, Snacks Harrison, they might be the toughest out in the NFC, and they might be the Super Bowl favorites out of the conference. Seahawks defense, if you can stop Buffalo, it's a huge statement to the rest of the league.
Yeah, speaking of snacks, it's a treat to watch the wide receivers for the Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, both tied for the league lead with 7 touchdowns, and they're so different. That's what's exciting about it. You know that DK is this big, strong, almost menacing wide receiver, and then you have this short, fast, electric guy, Tyler Lockett. I want to see those guys continue to have success. I'm looking at those.
I'm always fascinated by the psyche of Buffalo. This is a very dangerous game for them. Last week, they knock off New England. Sean McDermott says it's an emotional win for the city, for the team. Don't lose by 20 to Russ and the fellas. Like, this is a very dangerous game for Buffalo. You're at home. Take care of business. If you're with the big dogs, you can beat this team.
Love it. Peter, I have some trivia for you, apparently specifically sent from Matthew Hamilton. The Bills' last win over the Seahawks was back in 2008. I'd like you to tell me who scored the first touchdown for each team that day.
I would say for the Bills, it was Fred Jackson, and for the Seahawks, it was Leon Washington.
For the Bills, it was Marshawn Lynch, and for the Seahawks, it was...
Ooh.
Look up.
Nate. Was it Nate? Yeah.
Really?
Nate, did you know that?
Wow.
Yeah, I did know that because I tore my ACL in the third quarter of that game.
Oh, well, let's move on to brighter things, like the Jaguars and the Texans.
All right, I scored a touchdown.
Sorry, Nate. AFC South showdown. You did, and you made trivia here on this November 6th. What are you looking for in this one? Nate, you get to go first because now I feel bad.
It's all right. Okay, I bounced back. I'm perfectly fine. And speaking of bouncing back, what are the wide receivers for the Texans going to do? I mean, all week we were talking about it. Schrager was talking about it. He's like, go ahead and grab any of the wide receivers for the Texans. Cooks, Will Fuller, doesn't matter. Just pull one of them and pluck them and put them on your roster. Okay, after hearing your name thrown around in trade rumors, how do you respond? I think these wide receivers for the Texans are going to ball out.
See, there's no such thing as bad matchups or bad pizza. Speaking of pizza, Nate, remember when you broke your arm reaching to save a pizza while you were driving on the street? That was a great time. Incredible thing. Jags, don't win this game. You're in position to get Trevor Lawrence. You need to lose this one. And Houston, don't let Trevor Lawrence into your division.
You know, the amazing thing is Gardner Minshew might not even be playing in this game. Jake Luton could be the quarterback. L-U-T-O.
Hey-o.
Mike Glennon might get some time.
Okay.
This is a fascinating time to be alive, and the Jaguars here at 1-6, if they got anything left, they'll do it. Nate, I would argue the ACL and the pizza incident are not as awful as that hat you're wearing today on the show. So I don't know. That's just...
Thanks, Shrakes. I can always count on you to bring me back down to earth. I appreciate that.
I love you, buddy.
These two teams are very close to earth, guys. The Texans and Jags, they're both sitting there at 1-6. If either of them want something to hold on to, we have seen one team in NFL history make the playoffs after a 1-6 start. The Bengals did it back in 1970. Okay, Sunday Night Football action. This is the best matchup of the week, in my opinion. Saints and Bucks. What intrigues you on this one, Kyle?
I like the Joseph A. Bank over here doling out fashion advice. Antonio Brown intrigues me in this one. He will make an impact. It will be immediate, if only because Tom Brady will make him make an impact. Tom Brady loves Antonio Brown, like almost to a very strange level. He put his neck out to get him here. He will throw him the ball early, and Peter will spend yet another Men's Warehouse gift card.
Yeah, no, it's it. You're going to love the way you look, Kyle. Here's the deal. It's like you suffer through Packers and Bucks, or Packers and 49ers last night, which was a grueling game to watch in many ways. You suffer through Eagles Cowboys last night. This is the reward. So everybody, we'll preview this game all day, but like enjoy this game. It's only going to come around every so many weeks. I love this game. I love this matchup. So many stars, so many stakes. I cannot wait.
I remember when Deion Branch signed to the Seattle Seahawks.